Hey everyone, Bravo Echo back with Mr. Dewey Weaver here at American Pride Firearms here in North Alabama. And Dewey made himself available and afforded me some time to swing out and chat with him for a while and talk about firearms and maintenance care. And now we're going to talk about his own personal thoughts on more on tactics, home invasion, and things of that nature. Okay, so Dewey, welcome again. Appreciate your time for being here and giving us information to reach out to the average American. Dewey, I forgot to mention before, Dewey is actually one of our Hope for Survival contributing authors. He goes under the title of Gunsmoke. So you can go on the website and go pull up under the folder of guest writers. And he's offered some good information on firearms as well as fires and property from his past experience as a forest ranger. So Dewey, my first question is share some of your thoughts. We're now in the home, and some of your thoughts on the 3 a.m. home invasion. You're asleep, and you're awakened either by a home security system, a dog, or you wake up, or a spouse wakes you up, and there's multiple voices inside of your home that you can't see yet. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, my first thought is I pity the poor fool that comes in my house. My wife's got her firearm next to the bed in her drawer, and I keep this judge on my side of the bed, and it's I've got one of those. It's in a holster that goes into the mattress. Mm-hmm. It's between the mattresses. So the reason now, a lot of folks they get the ARs for self-protection. They think they can use that inside the home. Well, the problem with that is over-penetration. Your rifles, a lot of pistol calibers. This 40 caliber pistol here, it will penetrate a wall. You know, and then, like I said before, I don't have any small children, but if you got small children, you don't want to worry about them getting shot or anything. Turn it off. Anyways, so I went with this gun right here. Now this is, to my way of thinking, this is probably the best shotgun to get for the house. I mean, you don't get that classic racket sound.
Yeah. Which is intimidating.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give away.
Now, what I've got here is I got different loads of ammunition. I didn't bring none of my special stuff. I'll make myself. But this is number 4 shot shell, and this is a shotgun slug for a 410. And the only people I've seen that makes those slugs, and I'm pretty sure there's more of them out there, but this is made in Turkey. This is American Tactical Imports, and I got a real
Turkey.
I got a real killer deal on that, so I bought a case of it. But when you load these things, now the way I load this, since the cylinder rotates to the left, when I put these in there, I want it to chamber a shot shell before as the first shot, as I want to get the attention. If they're stupid enough to stick around for the second one, it's going to be a slug. So when I load it, I put the slug in there first, so when I cock it, the next shell is going to be a shot shell. And the good thing about this, now most of your handgun encounters is going to be 25 feet or less.
Yeah.
So from 25 feet out, this little gun right here will get everything from the floor to the ceiling. You don't have to be accurate. You can have sleep in your eyes or have your eyes closed. Just point it down the hall and pull the trigger. It's going to get everything from floor to ceiling, and it won't over penetrate. Now, another thing, if for people who are more passive, got these tactical lights. This is a tac light, and I'm sure everybody's seen it. What's his name, Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
It's got the strobe feature on it. So what that does is that will confuse your attackers.
Yeah.
And allow you, when you're holding the gun, you can hold it like so, or you can hold this up like that. So if they shoot, they'll shoot at the light and they won't shoot at you. But it gives you a chance to hold that on them. But if somebody comes to my house, they're not invited at 3 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna get shot before. I'll shoot first and ask questions later. Another thing, this is a little more passive too. If you don't like messing with guns or anything, this is a real high intensity laser. Now, you get this in their face, in their eyes, it'll burn the retinas, it'll go blind. It'll be temporary blindness. And if you get them good, it may be permanently blind, but that's the laser grid, and use it, and it covers a wider area.
You only need a fraction of a second to gain the advantage of the location of your threat.
That's how I would deal with the home invasion. Now, I've been, unfortunately, the place where I live, drug dealers were using the farm across the street's got an old abandoned house. They was using that to make drug deals, and my wife would occasionally wake me up and say, I hear people talking, and the farmers don't normally get out there until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and they start running their trucks. So I've been out there on occasion. I do a recon real quick, make sure it wasn't the farmers out there. But once in a while I caught drug deals going down. They met there, do their deal, and leave. So in that case, I carried my high-powered pistol with me and my tac light.
Do you by chance know? I know I've been retired from the Air Force for almost 18 years. It's flown by. And I know as a security law enforcement back in that era, the training was to carry the light crossover. But I believe after I retired, they changed it now to where they want law enforcement to keep the light away from the
I think
body.
what they do, the way they do nowadays is they hold the light out like so.
So you're not giving
So
them a
when somebody
direct line
shoots at
target.
where the light's at, they're missing the person. So I think that's the way they do it now. I'm not sure. I've been out of the military for almost 23 years.
I mean, you're pretty old, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
We all are. We all are. Let's say you had a home invasion and you have folks in the other room, maybe family visiting, a room or two over with you. How would that change your current approach, where it's just you and the wife with no one in the home?
Well, if somebody came in the house, and I've got family, so our guest room's on the other end of the house, first thing I would do would be scream out, stay in your room. Let them know that something's going on, stay in the room. Well, and, because of the situations we have nowadays with so much thuggery going on, and I'll tell them, anybody that's visiting, I get grandkids that visit once in a while, and the older grandkids, and I'll tell them, if you hear me scream out, stay in the room, and get down on the floor and stay under the bed until I come and get you. that's what I do. The first thing I do is scream out, "Stay in your room," and then then I shoot first. Shoot, because my family is more important to me than anything else.
So you're in your room. You have family in an adjoining room, and you either hear or your spouse tells you that there's voices in the house. You determine there's more than one, right? And before you can exit your room, you've already yelled out, "Stay in your room." And before you can exit out of your room, you hear a gunshot take place, and you know it didn't come from your room. So you exit the room, now knowing there's an armed threat outside the door. And as you exit out, you hear or see, or both, a family member who's down that's been shot. Are you going to the aid of the family member while the threat's still out there, or are you going to go straight to where the threat's at?
Well, every fiber in your being would say take care of your family member, but you need to take care of the threat first. Neutralize the threat, then take care of the family member, then call the police and the ambulance.
Yeah, one of the things, like in our home, one of the things that I've talked to my wife about is she's staying in the room. If I have to exit the room, she's staying in the room, and she's going to be doing the 911 call. Also, but depending on how your home's laid out, if you can possibly get between the threat and the down person, do you recommend, if at all possible, the 911 call's been made and you are between the threat and the down person and you're pushing the threat away, not eliminated yet, if the spouse can possibly do first aid on the down person but still may be in the line of the threat, do you recommend they go do first aid or stay behind cover until you yell back?
Well, knowing my wife is a nurse. Yeah. So knowing my wife, she won't listen to me anyway. She will have her gun in her hand and she will be there with me. And then she'll be taking care of whoever's down.
Yeah.
And as she said, she's often said, so if somebody comes in, we'll shoot them first, and she'll render first aid and then pray over them. So,
you know, out in the professional arena with SWAT teams, in a lot of the cities now, I don't know how far it has spread, but in a lot of the cities now, when they respond with a TAC team to an active shooter, when they go in and start doing their sweeps and you still have down personnel, they're embedding a medic inside of like a diamond shape, and they're going through and they're providing cover while that medic does a quick assessment, or maybe tends to, I don't know. The FBI, you can go on the FBI website, I think it's still there, but they have a video. It was a active shooter training, pretty real. They conducted out in Virginia at a university where they went through the whole command and control from the law enforcement side and the feds, but they went into the facility and they had this TAC med embedded with them. It was pretty impressive. But like with your wife being a nurse, yeah, it's going to be really, really hard because, especially in the dark, you know. So that's a tough one, and you know, and we think about how we would do it, but every scenario could be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, just think about this though. I mean, if you're the primary defense for the family, if you stop to render assistance, you could be taken out, and then your whole family's doomed anyway. So your primary job, it should be to take care, eliminate the threat.
Yeah.
And my wife is as good a shot as I am, so I pity the poor guy that comes in our house. So, you know, but her nursing kicks in before anything. So she'll take care of the hurt people.
So do you keep some sort of like an emergency first aid kit in your bedroom
Yes, we have
for occasions like this?
2 or 3 different first aid kits. I got one I keep in the bedroom. I keep one in my wife's truck, and then we got one as a spare. We just keep put away. So we've got plenty of first aid stuff to take care of emergencies like this.
That's awesome. So within the home, what is your favorite short and long gun
For use inside the
for
house,
home defense?
well, for use inside the house is
The judge.
my judge. I've got a riot gun. I've got a riot gun at the house. Shotgun. It's a 5-shot short barrel shotgun, and that's my secondary. The primary is always going to be this. Now let me explain the reason for using a pistol. Using a revolver rather. A revolver, when you clear and you being next law enforcement, the first thing that rounds a corner is always going to be the barrel. Well, somebody that standing on the other side of that door, see a barrel come through, all they got to do is grab the gun.
Yeah.
But if you're carrying a revolver up, and you step through the door, you're the first thing through the door. And now that's just my way of thinking. Now I've watched all the NCIS shows and the cop shows and stuff.
Well, for individuals that have money, there's a lot of things out there that you can buy to aid you in going around corners and all that. But for the average citizen, they don't have that stuff. They're not going to have the training and the equipment to see around corners before they go around them and so forth.
There's well, in that case, I suggest people who are concerned about stuff this need to get the training. There's some here in Huntsville. There's a group that does